Greetings, students. I'm Dr. Sadri. I'm your professor for this course. And today what I want to talk about is I want to talk about Module 4. And Module 4, as you know, is about our Exam 1. All right. As you have probably seen, Module 4, I have a very nice description of what you should expect from that. My suggestion is please go ahead and take a look at it very carefully because everything is really well explained. But in this relatively short, video, what I like to do is I want to go over some of the main points. The first thing you need to do is please notice that even before the week of exam starts, by Sunday night, if you are too shy to ask me a question, you can go to the optional Module 4, survey and put your question over there. However, in the last few years, very frankly, hardly anybody uses that because what they do is they do the right thing. They send me an email through the course, of course, and they ask their question. They say, Dr. Sadri, I'm not sure about this, or I'm not clear about that one, and then right away I answer them. All right. So I prefer it actually that way. And then if you have questions for the day of review, online review, or if it's face-to-face review or whatever, you can also always send it to me. If I can manage to answer it by email, I send it answer by email. If the answer is a little bit complicated, I might ask you, I think we need to have a conversation about that. Please send me an email with the best days, times, and a telephone number to reach you. Then I send you a reply by, okay, expect my call among the days that you chose. Expect my call on such and such day that is good for you and on such and such time which is good for you. Okay, and then that way I would call you and I would answer not just that question, any other question you would have. Okay, I want you to know that despite all my other responsibilities, I really take my teaching seriously. I love teaching, okay? I've been doing it for 28 years, for God's sake, okay? And I really love it, okay? So you are never bothering me. It would be my pleasure to help you, all right? I really like it. So if we go beyond that one, then you would see that we have divided the module into the first class session, second class session. Usually first class session is for what? For a review. So since our class in this particular case is online, the review would be online, which would be, again, you would send me an email with your questions, or you already have secured an appointment time that you want me to call you, I will call you. All right. So that's what I have done, basically that one. Then the other part of this module is for the second class session. Obviously, I'm not bringing you. I know some professors do that. They bring even the online students to the classroom and they have different version of the exams and everything. I trust my students, and then so what I have done is just like quizzes, all of our exam is online. But I have such a large, question bank for every segment of the, exam that I'm not worried about it. Because if my entire class sits in the same lab at the same time, click to open up the exam one, every single student is going to have a completely different exam version of exam one. Okay, so I'm not worried about that. Plus, we timed it based on what course development staff and also the FCTL staff, Faculty Center for Teaching and Learning, is teaching us. They say that, Dr. Sadri, your exams, they have 3 parts. Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. Part 1 are objective question, which is basically what you're already used to, like the quizzes, okay? In that section, there are only 7 questions. You don't have any choice. You have to answer all 7 of them, okay? Almost all of the students, they answers 10 questions in 10 minutes. So 7 questions, I'm sure you can do it in maximum of 10 minutes. Is that right? Then you move on to part 2. Part 2 are short answers, okay? Short answers, there are 5 short answers. You need to answer only 2, guys, okay? Don't answer less, because if you answer less than 2 questions, you're penalizing yourself. Don't answer more than 2, which means 3, 4, or 5, because then we have to penalize you, because you have to answer only 2. Each one of the short answers are worth 3 points. And short answers are very simple. Notice that even, right there in the Module 4, I have some examples of a short answer. Like what? Like mention 3 out of the 5 characteristic of, state. You remember we covered that one in what? In Module 0? Okay, here we go. Basically, people, territory, and government. Here we go. We don't even mention the other two. So 3 is good enough. So that would be it. So remember that each one of the, short answers, they have 3 points. The answer is usually 3, something that I ask. So each one of those answers, they have 1 point. That's it. You move on to the next one, answer that one, then you're done. So short answers are also very easy. You don't have to write any paragraph. You don't have to describe nothing. Save all of that for the essay. When you get to part 3, then there are 3 essays. There is 1 essay from each module. So this is module 4, exam 1. That means there's going to be 1 question from module 1, 1 question from module 2, 1 question from module 3. Again, if you take the exam with your friends or something, each one of you are going to have a different essay question from module 1, different one from module 2, different one from module 3. My suggestion is read all 3 of them very well and see for which one you feel more confident. Okay? So don't try to impress me. A couple of students, that I felt like they're going to be doing a great job. Guess what? They didn't do as well. So I asked them to come and see me. I said, what happened? You do so well in the class. He said, Dr. Sadri, I thought that question was so easy, so I tried to impress you with that tougher question. Impress me with your answer, not with your selection of a tougher question. I prefer you answer what you consider to be an easier question and then answer it fully, as opposed to you choose a tough question and answer it halfway or 1/3, So anyway, by the time you get to the essay question, there is 2 parts. One part of the essay has 7 points, but 2 points is reserved for what? For an outline. What type of outline? We'll have examples of outlines right there. So you can borrow one of those, but you need to change it. You can't use exactly the same thing. Of course, the outlines are based on what we call the 5-point scale. Roman numeral 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1 is always introduction. 5 is always conclusion. And the 3 between are related to, do you remember the points that we mentioned on module 0 with every political scientist have to answer 3 major questions, the what question, the why question, and the how question? Well, put those 3 right into that outline. So, introduction, the what question. What is the definition of, for example, patrimonial, system? You define it, you describe it, you provide examples. By the time you finish with that one, it's more than 100 words, okay? Then it says, compare and contrast patrimonial system with patriotic system. Okay, not a problem. You compare and contrast the 2, okay? So compare and contrast basically is what? Analysis, okay? Or the why question. Because you have to say, what's the cause of that? You see, it's very simple. So when you see the word analysis or discussion or comparison or contrast, do not worry. It's not a major thing. It's very simple. Okay? You do that all the time. You go to, you walk into Publix, you compare 2, 3 different types of milk and yogurt and whatever before you decide which one you want. Is that right? It's the same thing. You just, instead of milk, you're comparing concept or you're comparing theories. What you need to read the question very carefully and compare and contrast what the question wants you to do, not what you want to do. You see, that's how you get the scores. All right. So after you're finished with the comparison part or analysis part, is that right? Roman numeral 3, you move on to Roman numeral 4. Roman numeral 4 is always the how question. How does your discussion relate to at least one of the articles from our module? Now, the articles we are talking about is either one of the classical articles that you're reading in that module, required ones, or one of the newer articles, okay? Do not use one of the articles you found for your postings, okay? That's not the thing, because that's not required for the class. So that's all you have to do. So after you finish with that one, then you go to the last paragraph, is that right? Which is conclusion. You basically tell us, you highlight the major points that you mentioned in this essay, and you're done. So 5-point scale. For that 5-point scale, outline, which is subdivided into 1 level, as the example shows, you get 2 points. And then for writing 5 separate paragraphs, each one answering one of those Roman numerals, for each one you get 1 point. Of course, the criteria we have is based on clarity, organization, comprehensiveness, relevance, those type of things. You get 1 point for each. Here, 5 points, 2 points, that's 7 points. That 7 points puts you exactly equal to the what? To the 7 points that students get from what? From objective question. Now, why did we do that? There's a logic for that. The logic is we have two different types of students. Some students, they do very well with objective tests, like the quizzes, multiple choice or short answer, multiple choice or true false. And some students do very, very well with essay. Well, sometimes students who are doing so well with essay writing, they don't do so well with that. And sometimes students that are very good with, multiple choice, they don't do very good essay. So I wanted to make sure that my exams are so balanced that they provide equal opportunity to students with different types of talents. That's fine. And then short answers, as you can see, it's like a compromise between the two. It's not exactly all objective. It's not exactly what all essays and writing or something. So that's about it. Okay, remember, if you secure a score of 12 and more, then exam 2 is not required for you. This is 12 out of 20. If you earn a score less than 12, then exam 2 is required for you. Now, of course, if you get a very high score, like 20 out of 20, 19 out of 20, 18, 17, even 16, is that right? And I'm not sure if there's a point to take exam 2, because I'm sure you have other courses and you have other assignment or something. But if, for example, let's say you get scores like 12, 13, 14, 15, and you know how to study for these exams, and you know you can improve your what? Your score. You're more than welcome to take exam 2. You're not required, but you're more than welcome to take it. Who's going to work on it? I'm going to work on it. I'm going to grade it. That's just my pleasure. I love teaching. I love doing these type of things, and I love my students to be successful. So you take it. Hopefully you get a much higher score, and then I can drop the first exam for you and keep the second exam. That's all. That's all you have to do. Meanwhile, if you have any question, anything that I haven't covered, please feel free to what? Email me. I'm always available. For those of you who stop by my office hours, I'm always very appreciative to get to know you, because obviously I don't see my online students. I see only my face-to-face students. And then for those of you who just like to email me or make an appointment to talk on the phone or something, I'm always available, okay? If I'm not in the class teaching or not in all these committees that they put me to, to serve, I'm always available for you. Thank you for taking my class, and good luck on exam 1, and think positively about it. I know you're going to do well. Thank you.